Last afternoon, this is your buddy George Jones over at the Bergen Gun Range with my next installment on how long can you leave a magazine loaded? Well, we're fixing to find out. I retired from the Department of Corrections in 2014. I went to work for the Mercer County Jailer's Office in 2015 and was almost immediately called out on a manhunt scenario, which is something I'm more than well trained for an escapee about 3 weeks after I got hired. That's about right. So, shortly thereafter, there was an incident in another county where a guy clipped one off at a state trooper and then hit the woods. Well, when that happens in Kentucky, it's all hands on deck. Everybody shows up, okay? And that was my M1 falling to the ground. That was my poor M1 falling to the ground. I don't think there's any new dings. I don't think it got any new dings on it. We won't even worry about it. We'll just keep right on going. Get that over there. Fall down now, damn you. And we decided thereafter that we would try and keep at least a couple of guys with call-out bags ready to go if something serious popped off where you needed a long gun. The chances of needing a long gun in service of a jail is pretty slim. Okay, pretty slim. But we decided because of that escape and this incident, the possibility of a major disturbance at a correctional institution that we had codependency with, some of us would keep a call-out bag, like gas mask, long gun, shotgun, change of clothes, change of uniforms, and so forth. So you could just grab it and go out the door with it. And I started keeping 3 or 4 loaded magazines. Well, I would shoot those loaded magazines out at the quarterly scheduled firearms practice session, and somewhere over the years, one of those loaded magazines got lost. And in trying to reorganize that, my gun room, or as my wife likes to call it, that junk hole down at the end of the hall, I found this. 4/2016. Fully loaded with X-Tac. And I'm like, there's a lot of talk on the gun pages right now about how long can you leave a magazine loaded for. And 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 8 years. This magazine's been fully loaded for 8 years. And it is a Vietnam era Colt magazine. Right there. Colt AR-15. So, Vietnam era one. So, let's try it out. See how long this particular style of magazine can stay loaded and still fully function. What I think will happen is it'll get up there about 12 rounds and we'll have a hang up. That's what I think. So, let's see what I think. That didn't go fully into battery. Okay. Boy, I'm glad I didn't have this at a Oh, for Pete's sakes. Check that thing, make sure there ain't an obstruction in it before we start working. Right. There, that went fully in the battery. Okay, let's try it, see what happens. Now it's got 18 in it. Missed my block. Missed my block. Shoots a little bit to the left. I'm not going to adjust it right now. Follower didn't advance all the way and lock it back. But we wound up going with 19 and it worked completely. So can you leave this style of magazine loaded for 8 years? Apparently you can. That's pretty interesting. Because frankly, I didn't think it would work. I didn't think it would, I didn't think it'd work. You know, I figured pretty sure I had a ruined magazine. These guys today are worth a lot of money compared to, I think I bought 80 of these at Lundy's in Live Oak back in the 80s for 50 cents a piece. I had a great big bag of them, duffel bag full. I had to buy a duffel bag to get them home. But yeah, aluminum follower, you know, old. I didn't figure it would work, just to tell you the truth. Well, apparently this style of magazine can be left loaded for 8 years. That's about the size of it. Tag this on the end of an old video. We'll see you when we see you. How y'all are? It's your buddy George Jones over at the Bergen Gun Range for something the big YouTubers do. State of the channel. Okay. Well, the state of the channel is actually, it's in a lot better state than I thought it would be. About 12,000 subscribers. Pretty loyal bunch. Tend to watch often. Monetized. Get a little bit of money from AdSense revenue, but you know, Patreon's still important. Patreon supporters get to send me emails and say, I'd like to see this. Sometimes I just can't get it. we're just there. Sometimes we just can't get the FN Model D. You know, sometimes we just can't get the show. Sometimes we just can't get the police positive 1930s version. But anything odd that comes along, I generally try and procure it for a video review on the channel. Some of you may have noticed that I've turned into a carbine fiend. Well, I am. I bought a few carbines to make videos with and decided just to keep them. I like carbines, always did, even when I was a kid. I've been looking for my kid carbine, my Crosman M1 .30 caliber carbine configured BB gun. I saw one the other day on Gunbroker. It was about 800 bucks, and it said on there that it didn't work. So we keep looking. If anyone knows of anyone who can repair air guns, you know, I'd like to know about it. Fan shoot / barbecue / E-Squad 540 channel range day. We're getting ready for that. Knob Creek Gun Range in Bullitt County, Kentucky, in West Point, outside of West Point. May the 18th, 9 to 6 in the evening. Bring what you want, you know, come out. I'm going to feed you. We're going to have the good burgers and the good brats and Hebrew National hot dogs again, with the best buns I can find, and tater salad and baked beans, and, you know, chips and dip and so forth like that. Just a regular full-on picnic in the middle of a gun shoot. $15 range fee that goes to Knob Creek Gun Range, not to me. It allows us to have this event without having to go out and buy a bunch of insurance. It's on the range's insurance. Technically their event. Like that. Patreon support is about the same as it was. It's still pretty important to me, just to tell you the truth. It's what I used to. Patreon support is more than just E-Squad 540 channel. Patreon money goes into direct deposit into a separate checking account that I maintain, and I use that money to maintain the Bergen Gun Range. And the Bergen Gun Range is a public firing range, private land, permission only. It's also the home range for the local Scholastic shooting team. Bergen has a trap and skeet team, and they practice here regularly, and it's more or less their home range. So if you want to help that, you know, you put a little bit into Patreon. All right, that's pretty much the state of the channel. It's just rolling along, and we're doing pretty good. I'll talk to you about something. See that? That's a magazine. Okay? If you go buy a gun, if you plan to buy a firearm, you plan to buy a handgun or a rifle, and you need to go to the website and look and see if that handgun comes with a spare. If it comes with a spare, and you get down to your dealer and there's no spare in the box, just keep right on moving. Go buy it from somebody else. And just tell them, so look, the website says I've got a spare. There's no spare in the box, so I'll have to take my money somewhere else. Okay? Because this is a racket among gun dealers, big and small, is to take that magazine out and hang it on a peg on the sales floor and sell it separately. You paid full price for the gun, which comes with a magazine, and you didn't get your $25 or $30 or $40 magazine in the deal, okay? So they cut your throat. And don't be afraid. If it's like a American manufacturer, go to their website. Send them an email. Say, look, this guy's selling your guns without the spare magazine in there. And that brand will probably pull out of that company. Call the distributor and tell them not to send them any more guns. You've got recourse, you know. So that's the deal on magazines. Okay, Ruger, you know, they don't make the Mark II anymore, but they got Mark IIs, 3s, 4s, 5s, and probably 35s. They come with an extra magazine. If you ain't got an extra magazine in your factory box new at the retail, we got a problem. Taurus. I don't think the little bitty pocket guns come with an extra magazine, but I know like G2Cs and things of that nature come with an extra magazine. So you get in there and you open that box up and you look and there's no magazine in there. Yeah, you got a problem. So don't get ripped off. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is trying to keep you from getting ripped off. All right, we'll see y'all when we see you. God bless America and God bless each and every one. Bye-bye.